Okay. So, yeah, take your time, Chelsea. You're doing great. Okay, come on back. All right, ladies. So I took the time to go ahead and write up here some of the goals you guys discussed with me. I paraphrased a little bit, but just to kind of be simplistic, I just wanted to say, Chelsea, my best understanding is the biggest thing for you as RSPC, the ECT, you would like to be respected by Stacy. One of the things you mentioned is you'd like her to not talk behind your back and respect. You want her to understand your point of view, and that you're a new, while you're a new manager, you have the best interest of your organization in mind, and then you'd like Stacy to continue to be a part of the working team, assuming she's able to kind of let this go. Is that a pretty good summarization? Okay, Stacy, you would like to have a good working relationship with Chelsea. And you would like communication, something that really feeds into that's communication, whether the good, the bad, and the ugly. You want feedback, whether it's positive or negative feedback. You just want to hear it. You don't want it sugar-coated, but you want it to be professional. And then also, you want to also be offered professional opportunities that your other coworkers are being offered at this time.
That's correct, but also I don't want her to be on the defensive if I bring her an issue about something. That's what I mean by professional, is not taking things personally and automatically getting on the defensive.
I really think that falls very well. Well, actually, that falls really well under a good working relationship, too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, any questions from anyone on that? Okay, so since Stacy got to list her goals out first, I'm going to go ahead and let Stacy address Chelsea's goals. We'll do one at a time. We'll take turns. Let's go ahead and talk about the respect. Stacy, what would be some ways that you could show Chelsea here that you respect her as manager?
Well, there's a lot of different ways. First, I would like to say that I appreciate that she brought up respect. Respect is definitely a two-way street. So I appreciate having that on my end as well. Ways that I could show her respect would definitely be not talking behind her back. That's not respectful. Coming to her directly if I have a problem. Getting her input on issues that I might be having as far as other working relationships in the department. It really kind of falls in line with like understanding her point of view and that type of thing.
Okay. So, Chelsea, let's start off with offering professional opportunities. What would you like to do to offer professional opportunities to Stacy?
I guess I just assumed that the assignments I was offering to her coworkers were things she wouldn't be interested in doing. So I guess I should just approach her first and say, hey, coming up, is this something you would be interested in? Or would you like me to pass it on to one of your coworkers?
Can I just say something? Yes. It might be, this is what I mean by having a professional working relationship. It might be beneficial for her not to just come to me, maybe to offer it to everyone and not be, I know not everyone can do an assignment, but you can't pick and choose who does what in a department where everyone, maybe some people want to do it, maybe they don't, but it's going to be perceived as favoritism if not everyone is given the chance. Okay.
Chelsea, how do you feel about that? Do you feel?
It makes sense, but if it's something I know that the brand new employees can't handle, then of course I'm going to go to you. You've been there longer, so you have the experience to handle those situations. And then, I mean, even if someone else was interested in learning from you, then that would be a great mentorship opportunity. You could take another coworker along with you and be like, this is how we do this.
That's fair.
So just to clarify, you are, because she is such a senior employee, and she, as you mentioned previously, her previous supervisor said she's such a great mentor, you want to bring these opportunities to her attention so that way she can kind of decide if that's something she needs to do or one of the other employees need to do, or she can take the opportunity to mentor. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Okay, and does that seem like a good suit to you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sure.
All right, mentor. Okay, very good. And then going back to Stacy, and I know you kind of touched on understanding Chelsea's point of view, kind of the respect and that kind of tie in hand, by not back talking and having more direct communication and getting input. Is there any other things that would be just specific to understanding her point of view that you can think of?
Mm-hmm.
Asking her, I think that, what do you think about that, Chelsea? I think that's a great idea.
And I think that comes along with a lot of things in communication where we make assumptions and we shouldn't.
Sure. No, that's a very great answer. Sometimes the simplest answers are interesting, and it seems like you both really agree. So that's good. Okay. All right, Chelsea. Since she brought up communication, this would be a good time to bring up communication here. Stacy's outlined some things that go underneath that. You know, just hearing it like it is, whether it's good, whether it's bad, and kind of being professional. And I think in my understanding that you're referring to when the last time you came to her for something, it wasn't a good conversation. So both of you kind of coming together that way and not being offended is my best interpretation of what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a way to address this block of information? What are going to be things you're going to do?
Yeah, I think I need to work harder to have more of an open door policy.
Okay.
I was new. I am new still. I'm a little overwhelmed, and I am dealing with a bunch of new employees. So I have been putting more effort into that, and kind of just assumed that Stacy could kind of handle herself, and that I didn't need to provide as much attention to her. So I kind of cut our meeting shorter, or kind of didn't make extra time to communicate with her. And I think that I need to do that in the future.
So what you're saying is in the future, you would like to have more opportunities to communicate with Stacy on a more regular basis, so you're both on the same page.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd like to explore that one a little bit more with you, and then I would like to involve you in this as well, because I think that's a really big step in a really big direction. Would you, more regular communication, would you like to have planned sessions to where, or do you want to do emails? What are some things you were thinking about as far as more regular communication? What would be your thoughts on scheduling or unscheduling or not scheduled?
That is a really good question. I ideally would like to have it scheduled just so I know that it's there, but my schedule is so crazy. I can't necessarily commit to anything right now. So I think it's something we would have to kind of talk about and agree on a time that works well for both of us.
What are your thoughts, Stacy, given your current patient caseload? What would be something that you could contribute to help her to decide how often you guys should communicate?
I think a monthly 15-minute scheduled meeting hopefully would be doable with her schedule. I know just from the management classes that I've taken that one-on-ones with your employees, and I'm sure her being a new leader, she wants to develop those relationships with her employees. So I think I would be okay with a monthly 15-minute just checking in, if she would be willing to do that.
Yeah, you feel like you can slip that in?
Yeah, I think that's very reasonable. I was kind of assuming that it would be more often than that or more frequent. But just, yeah, that would work. And then just like reminding her that I would like to get that open door policy where if there is an issue that arises or anything that can't wait until our meeting, that she should come to me.
I was trying to be respectful of your time by just doing monthly, but I certainly will take advantage of the open door policy if I need to.
I think that's something we can alter as we work forward in the future.
Okay. To round that back, so to work on the communication piece, Chelsea has agreed to make more clear a more open door policy. My understanding of a traditional open door policy is that whenever anyone has an issue, they can come and talk to you about it, assuming that you're immediately available. Is that what you're meaning by that?
Yes.
Okay. And then both of you came to the agreement that a time set aside once a month for 15 minutes would be a good time to sit and kind of figure out where you're at. And then as you continue with this process, you can alter it as you need to, or you can change it. So if you start to think that once a month isn't enough, then you guys can continue to schedule, and as schedules change, as they always do in healthcare, you can change that. Am I understanding all of that properly?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Okay, going back to Stacy. Stacy, how do you plan to be part of the working team?
Really, I've really kind of always been that employee that's done whenever is needed and whenever I'm asked. So perhaps that's gone by the wayside just a little bit because of our relationship. But if we develop or get back to that good working relationship, I can be the go-to person. I can be the mentor. I can be the person that will pick up what she needs.
Okay, so I understand that to contribute to the team, you'll continue to do some of the great things you've been doing for the last 20 years. Plus, you're assuming that your good working relationship builds, you're willing to be the go-to mentor and basically do whatever she needs you to do.
Yes.
Okay, what do you think about that, Chelsea?
Yeah, that's kind of what I had in mind when I came into this position, but I guess there was just miscommunication from the start, and it really kind of has been hard not having that person to lean on.
So we both agree on that area. Am I understanding that correctly? Mm-hmm. Fantastic. Okay, our very, very final thing, and although I feel like there's a pretty good chance that all of these other things build up into this good working relationship, is there anything else that you guys can think of that would foster that good working relationship that we haven't already discussed in one of our other points?
Not really.
Okay, I wanted to open that to both of you because there's a lot that's really covered there. Very good. Okay. So, does anybody have anything else to add to that portion?
No.
Okay. So, just to kind of, I'm going to write some of this up in the form of an agreement. Some of the things that are going to be on our agreement sheet, and I will make a handwritten version here shortly, and then possibly type it up and email it out to you guys later, just for your own copies. In the agreement, we're going to include Chelsea's open door policy, which Stacy will utilize, the monthly 15-minute meeting, which will have a clause that means that can be altered as necessary, and then Stacy's piece, and that's kind of where you guys come together. Communication, that bridges both of you guys' goals and makes them become one. From Stacy's side, things she's going to do for you, Chelsea, is avoid discussing things with other coworkers, talk to you directly, and try to get input from you on what you're thinking, and ask you for your point of view when decisions are being made. And she's going to continue to be the employee she has been, but also be a go-to mentor and do whatever you need to have done within reason, of course. Does that seem reasonable?
Point of view, not necessarily when decisions have been made, but maybe when decisions have been made, and just in a general, maybe her perception of me, or just point of view in general. I don't think we need to limit it to when decisions have been made.
And I think that kind of ties into this communication piece, perhaps. I don't know what you guys think, because that kind of goes into that whole like big piece. Okay, and then for Chelsea, we have the open door policy, more regular communication, and you're going to approach her first when it comes to assignments and things, and allow her the opportunity to be mentor and grow professionally also. Okay, I'm going to take all of those items and put them on the paper. Now, our very, very final thing, though, is how do we know this is working? A few things we want to kind of look at. We want to look at, is this working? And also, we can talk a little bit about some what ifs, but I think that we've discussed some things. You've discussed possible termination if this doesn't work out. So how can we tell if this is working or not? What would be some things to note?
I mean, I think we could maybe set up a future mediation with you or a future meeting with you 3 months from now to see if things have improved.
What do you?
That sounds good. I was going to suggest just some type of written mutual evaluations, but I think a mediation would probably be a better idea.
Okay. Yeah, how do you feel about that? You both agree on that, and we check this out again in 3 months, and if things are good, then if we have anything, then we can talk about it at that time. Okay. Give me a moment to write this up, and we'll sign and be finished. Okay. Do you guys have any questions? Is there anything else that you want to talk about? No. Okay, I'll begin writing. You both are welcome to take a break while I'm writing this up.